Hello, welcome to today's presentation on breaking barriers, accelerating women's economic empowerment. And this is a presentation I prepared for the Association of Professional Women Engineers of Nigeria Benin Chapter during the 2025 International Women's Day celebration. My name is Toyin Udutola, and I'm an associate professor of petroleum and gas engineering in the University of Port Harcourt. So let's start by reflecting on the past IWD themes. IWD is International Women's Day. So I started getting aware of International Women's Day celebration when I was first called to give a presentation on Break the Bias. That was the theme for the International Women's Day program in 2022. And I was called to speak at Apwen National, and the program was holding the South-South region in Port Harcourt at Hargo Heights. So I talked about how we can challenge the stereotypes and foster inclusion. In 2023, we had Embrace Equity as our team, and we talked about how we can ensure fairness, fair outcomes, and not just equal opportunities for both male and female. And then in 2024, we talked about Inspire Inclusion. And there we also talked about how women can be included in more tech tech careers. Women should be included in more things than they currently are in. And we talked about creating environments where women are valued. With all these powerful teams we've had in a couple of years past, one would think that we are almost there. But this year, 2025, the theme is accelerate action, and it says driving urgent transformative change. So that means that, look, even though we've been talking about breaking bias, changing stereotypes against women, including women, gender parity, equity, we are not yet there. We need to work faster and harder to be able to achieve the gender parity and the equity and the inclusion that we've been talking about for years. So I share with you a video that I saw online that inspired me.
People will find it funny that I can actually drive articulated truck, which is 22 tire. I can't just undo 4 tires. Well, we just give glory to God. I believe that anything we learn, we surely know it. After I finished my secondary school, so then I was still in Lagos State then with my auntie. So she was like, though my parents have been disturbing me on what to do, what to learn after my secondary school level. So there was like, I should go and learn, is it that tailoring or hairdresser? So I was like, no, that I don't have intention for all those stuffs. So then my auntie's husband was a truck driver then. So they gave him like 2 trucks to manage. So he now asked me that I should go come and be managing his truck, like the manager. So I said, okay, there is no problem. So I start managing the truck. So there's one certain day I was like, when I'm moving this, I can also do it. And I have intention of driving before, but not car. I told him I want to learn how to drive. He was like, okay, it will take me to one of his friends that is also a driver. So his friend was like a lady. So he said he wants to give me a trial. So on the first trip, we went together from the side to go and load. So after some days, couple of days and weeks, he saw that improving is what, because I really love driving, is what I have passion for. So I turned up in everything he taught me. So people are trying to convince him that he should just forget about me. He was like, this girl, I think she really have passion for it. That I think she will catch up. So my boss, he don't lose interest in me. His name is Ezugo Chukwuchino. So he's an able man. The first time I came into the company I'm into now presently, it was like, oh, they was very shocked to, to see me. There are some stages you need to pass through before they just hand over the key to you. You understand? So I need to pass through all those stages, the steps. If you failed, they will send you back that you need to go and retrain. And thank God I passed. So that is why I became the boss of myself. I learned this truck. Just, yeah, I drove that one for like 3 months. So after I said, okay, I want to drive articulated truck. So I told them they should give me like 2 or 3 weeks. After that, I came back. I said they should give me the articulated. They was like, no, because I'm driving rigid before. So when I came back, so I need to pass through those tests again for them to be assured that I can do it. They test me, so they say I passed everything. There's so much challenges in it, but me, I don't see those things as challenges, all because it's what I have passion for. So like maybe if I have flat tire, people will find it for.
Okay, so the reason this kind of story is trending is because we are not yet there. If it was a man who had that kind of story, maybe a young boy who was driving an articulated truck, I don't think it would have made the headlines. But our story is made, her own story is making the headlines because it's still unusual for you to see women in male-dominated spaces. So everybody is shocked, and then she's trending, which is a good thing because she's also able to inspire other young ladies that, look, if I can do it, you can do it. I mean, her story is out there. You can still search for her video and watch the entire story. So if she can do it, others can do it. Now, there are about 50% of the population of Nigeria, 50% of the population of Nigeria is comprised of women. And most Nigerian women abilities are grossly underutilized due to educational, career, financial, and leadership barriers against women. For instance, the lady in the video talked about how they had already, stereotyped the kind of jobs she can do. Her parents told her go for tailoring or hairdressing. So you can imagine how, if she didn't have the support of her sister's husband and the person that taught her how to drive the truck, you can imagine how grossly underutilized this lady would have been as a tailor or a hairdresser. The barriers against women is a cultural issue and may sometimes be expressed unconsciously due to traditional beliefs. So, I mean, when people express these barriers, they really mean well for us women, but it is affecting the economy of the country because if you get women empowered and you get them to do more, the economy of the country gets better. Now, why is it important for us to accelerate action? The theme is about the urgency of expediting progress towards gender equality. It is now a very urgent need for us to achieve that gender equality. According to the World Economic Forum, at the current pace at which we are trying to approach gender equality, achieving full gender parity could take approximately 5 generations from now, which is a very long time. And in Africa, of course, we are even far, far, far behind 5 generations from now. So we really need to accelerate action, and make sure that more women are aware that they can do more and they don't have to be stereotyped into some certain gender roles. Accelerating action calls for swift and decisive action to break systemic biases that hinder women in both personal and professional spheres. So we are trying to say that women should break free from all those barriers that have told them you cannot be a truck driver, you have to be a hairdresser, or you have to be a nurse, or you cannot be an engineer. We're saying that women should break free from all those barriers and know that they can achieve their full potential in spite of their gender. And these are the barriers that we need to break. For instance, currently, I think there's only 6% elective position in politics that women occupy, which is quite low. And we need more women in politics. I keep giving this illustration about how women are very good with conflict resolution. This is something they practice at home because they're always with their children. There are times that the children will quarrel over toys and they have to step in and they have to step in and bring peace amongst the children. So they've done these things repeatedly. They've already have this, they've grown the skill. They are very capable at it. So imagine them at elective positions, they would do excellently as leaders. Women are underrepresented in social and corporate and academic spheres. This has to change. The representation of women has to be seen in corporate and academic spheres. And it's also social spheres. Women are usually told to achieve a certain societal status before going for higher degrees. They'll tell them you need to get married before you go for your master's, or you need to get married before you go for your PhD. And this has to stop. Nobody tells the man that they must get married before they go for further degrees. Caregiving roles could disproportionately affect women's ability to pursue and sustain careers, because women are the primary caregivers of their children. Most times, if the workplace is not an inclusive workplace that takes care of the need of the woman, it will be difficult for the woman to pursue her and sustain her career due to her caregiving roles at home. And that is why conversations like this are very important, so that organizations will start trying to change some of their approach to how women work, so that they can make the work environment, an inclusive work environment that encourages the woman to continue with her caregiving roles while excelling at work. Financial exclusion is also a barrier that must be broken. Women need to have more access to banking services, credit, investment opportunities, and economic resources. Some measures have already been taken to break the bias, and I commend everyone that has pushed for this. Because we've been speaking about it in different IWDs, and many people have pushed for these measures to take place. Now, the public is already sensitized about the adverse effect of gender bias on sustainable development. To achieve sustainable development faster, you need to break the bias and ensure that the women are getting more involved in the economic activities, social activities, political activities. And then many organizations have also brought up policies that encourage female participation in leadership. There's a quota for females in leadership in different organizations. The government also can ensure that more females are involved in politics. Now, there are also a lot of scholarship opportunities for bright primary school female students, and this ensures that students do not drop out of primary school, drop out of their education from primary school level, and then when they are done with the secondary school, some of them still get scholarship to go into the universities. And this is great because it's also encouraging women to be more active in the educational space. Employers have been creating inclusive work environment for women so that they can fit into any career, and this is also commendable. So with all these actions that we have taken, or that I'm saying that has been happening so far, why are we saying we need to accelerate action? Because closing the gender gaps could add billions to Nigerian GDP, foster innovation, and drive sustainable development, which are things that we desire. And it enhances family and community well-being when the gender gap is closed, and there's increased diversity in leadership and decision making. Now, if you have more women in leadership, the decision making will be more diverse. It's not just about the male perspective, but the women bringing their perspective, and the decisions taken will be richer and more inclusive. So what are the strategies that we plan to use, or that are being suggested for the accelerating action and economic empowerment? One is promote mentorship and career guidance. So I talk about the lower picture, where I have a picture of myself and Professor and Dr. Okonjo-Iweala, and the picture on top is the picture of Professor Ukeri Wachi, where she's receiving an award from Access Bank, and the one beneath is myself when I was receiving my master's degree at the African University of Science and Technology. So these women are very important women to me. It's important for us to have role models, like I have Okojo Iweala, and mentors like Professor Ukeria that are nudging us forward to achieving our goals. When I was receiving the award, the master's certificate from Dr. Okoje, I really didn't know much about her. That was years back in 2010. But years after, when she became the WTO boss, I went back, I looked at a picture, I said, wow, this is the woman I took pictures with. And then I realized that if she can do this, I also can do this and do much more. So it's important for women to set themselves out as role models, to younger women. And I've enjoyed a lot of mentorship from Professor Ikere as well in the university space, and a lot of guidance for my career from her. Now, another strategy to use is support gender responsive policies, such as equal pay, parental leave for both male and female during after the delivery of a child. This can be done by most of the women who have achieved, higher roles and have become like influential at their places of work. So when they get there, they know what they went through as younger women at work, so they can make the environment more conducive for their younger colleagues that are coming up. So by ensuring that the conditions are more female friendly, and can be more inclusive. Invest in STEM education for girls and women. It's very important for STEM education to be for there to be more investment in STEM education for girls and women, because right now there are still very few women and girls in STEM. So girls need to be encouraged that they can thrive in STEM careers. Other strategies that can be used is to provide access to capital and economic opportunities for all, ensure that there is a lot of capital and economic opportunities for both male and female, and build network connecting women to investors and resources so that women can use these networks to build startups and encourage more women to thrive. And then we need to support women in leadership and advocate for gender quotas in certain leadership roles, that there has to be some women in every leadership position so that the decisions are more diverse. Encourage women to take governance roles. More women should get into politics so that they are more involved in the decision making, which is also affecting, females everywhere in the country. So more women should get into politics. Now, how this call to action, what can we do? So we can continue advocating for equitable policies as a group. We can mentor and support young women. That's what we all can do. Decide that we are going to mentor and support more young women, invest in women's education and entrepreneurship. There are a lot of scholarships, but as an individual or as a group, as a female group, you can decide that you can also fund some more women in school. I know that APO in Port Harcourt does that a lot. I've seen them giving scholarships to young ladies during APO programs. So this kind of scholarship donation to women is also helping to ensure that more women are getting involved in STEM education and STEM careers. And then we can also lead by example and inspire change. So as a woman in STEM, you can stand out, put in your best, excel at what you do so that you are inspiring other young women to carry out careers in STEM. And you need to also share your success stories to inspire others. You can't hide your light. When you're doing well, share it so that more young females will know that they can actually do well as female engineers. And then you also need to learn to cheer others up. If there's a female who is doing very well in the STEM field, learn to cheer her up, so that she continues pushing further. And then you can also help to share her story to inspire younger ladies. Now, what can I do as a person to accelerate action? Number one, I do not need to feel or act limited by my gender. That I am a female does not mean anything at the workplace. I am an engineer, just as the male colleague is an engineer. So I should see myself as an engineer. In the story we saw of the truck driver, they didn't reduce the work for her because she's female. The kind of assessment the male folks went through, she had to go through it. When she was switching to the 22 tire trucks, she had to be retested, and she said she excelled at all the tests she was giving. So I, as a person, do not need to feel limited by my gender. I need to know that if I am an engineer, I'm a properly trained engineer, just as the male gender is also a properly trained engineer, and I'll do well, not because I am female, but because I'm well trained to deliver on my job. And also be result driven, always strive for excellence, be confident, make your mark known, make your voice heard. So do not be intimidated. Do not, decide that you're not going to speak out at meetings. Be out there, speak out at meetings, be result driven, be confident, make sure you're always excellent at every task you're given. Don't be afraid to pursue your dreams and keep scaling new heights. If the lady we watched in the truck story video had been afraid to pursue her dreams of driving a truck, we would be talking about her story here, but she decided she was going to do it, and she did it, and now she's inspiring more women. Women should be ready for their job roles. So if you need more training for your job role, please upskill, get tech skill, entrepreneurship skill, learn soft skills, bond together, collaborate with other women, uplift women and share stories. So any skill you need to excel at your role, please go get it, go for the online classes or whatever, however you're going to get the skill. And you need this skill because it will help you as a woman, so that you're not looking like you're incompetent, at the workspace. Women in leadership positions should also protect our interests. So when women have risen to the position of leadership, they should learn to protect the interest of other younger women, and women should learn to have financial literacy. And another thing women must do is search for opportunities and go for them. There are a lot of opportunities for women out there. Don't sit in one corner and be waiting for the opportunity to come to you. You need to learn to search for opportunities. In conclusion, breaking barriers and accelerating women's economic empowerment is not just a moral obligation. It is an economic necessity and collective responsibility. It is very necessary for us, to break barriers and accelerate women's economic empowerment, because this will help our economy, and it is our collective responsibility to do this. So today you're being charged that you should keep breaking every barrier, against women, and tell the women around you that they can achieve whatever they plan and put their minds on, so that their full potential will be achieved. When the doors of equal opportunity for women and girls are open, everyone wins. Equal societies are peaceful and sustainable. So it's important for us to keep encouraging women and girls to have this equal society, to pursue every opportunity that they come across, not to feel limited by their gender, so that we can eventually achieve equal societies that are peaceful and sustainable. Together, we can break barriers and accelerate women's economic empowerment. So before we leave, I want to share the video. I think this one happened early this year, that was trending on. I saw this on LinkedIn. It's about another truck driver. She's 19 and she's in the East. The first lady we saw is in the West. So she has inspired another lady to start driving the truck. And before you know it, many more women are doing this. We'll start doing this and it becomes normal. And then we gradually keep achieving, gender parity. If the first lady we saw never shared her story, that's why we talked about sharing women's stories. She never shared her story. Perhaps this lady wouldn't have been inspired to know that she can do what she's doing.
What's the Abia State? Abia State. Oyakachi. Odunakachi. Oh, you're a great driver. No, you're a great driver. Abia State. She's the one driving this 40 feet. Eh? One hour, let's get it back. 19 years. Okay. 19 years. I have your state too. 19 years.
And that's it. Thank you so much. So together, let's accelerate action by sharing these stories and breaking the biases against women. Thank you.